Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to go over the green exercise in the book for chapter 6. It's the green checkpoint exercise. I've already gone ahead and typed it up in a Word document so I can highlight and do different things with it. Alright, so with each one we need to make sure that we understand what the topic is, what our stated or implied main idea is, and then it's going to ask us questions about supporting details. Now remember, there's two different types of supporting details, so let's make sure that we answer it correctly for what they're asking for. Paragraph number 1, this paragraph comes from an economics textbook. A patent is the exclusive right of an inventor to use or to allow another to use her or his invention. Patents and patent laws aim to protect the inventor from rivals who would use the invention without having shared in the effort and expense of developing it. At the same time, patents provide the inventor with a monopoly position for the life of the patent. The world's nations have agreed on a uniform patent length of 20 years from the time of application. Patents have figured prominently in the growth of modern-day giants such as IBM, Pfizer, Kodak, Xerox, Intel, General Electric, and DuPont. So here in this paragraph we have a word in bold, and it is the word patent, and that is our topic. Okay? And our stated main idea is the first sentence. Okay? That's our stated main idea. Patent is the exclusive right of an inventor to use or to allow another to use her or his invention. The rest of this are supporting details, okay, that explain a patent for us. Okay? So our question is, which of the following are supporting details? Okay? So this is our stated main idea. So the stated main idea is never going to be a supporting detail. So A, it's not going to be A. All right? But it will be B, C, D, and E. Okay? So that is our answer for number 1. Okay? So here they were just looking for supporting details, not major or minor ones, just supporting details. So all of these were supporting details. Number 2. Oops, sorry about that. This is a paragraph from a biology textbook. Proteins have several important functions. Perhaps the most important proteins are enzymes, which have the key role in cells of lowering the energy required to initiate particular chemical reactions. Other proteins play structural roles. Cartilage, bones, and tendons all contain a structural protein called collagen. Keratin, another structural protein, forms hair, the horns of rhinoceros, and feathers. Still other proteins act as chemical messengers within the brain and throughout the body. Okay, so here we're looking at what our main idea is, and it's our stated main, we do have a stated main idea, and it's this first sentence. Okay, proteins have several important functions. Now we got to ask ourselves, what are those functions? And that is what's going to be our answer. Now we're specifically being asked for major details, so not minor ones. Okay? So here, first we have perhaps the most important proteins are enzymes, which have the key role in cells of lowering the energy required to initiate particular chemical reaction. Other proteins play structural roles. Then we have cartilage, bones, and tendons all contain a structural protein called collagen. Keratin, another structural protein, forms hair, horns, and feathers. And then still other proteins act as chemical messengers within the brain. Okay, so here we know it's not A because that's our stated main idea. Okay. One of the important functions is the enzymes, so it would be B. B would be one of our major supporting details. Then other proteins play structural roles. That's a good one. That's a good sentence for our major details. Now D and E, from what we can see, that's a structural protein. That's a structural protein. So D and E are minor details supporting C, our major detail. So it wouldn't be D or E, but it would also be F because that is a protein that acts as a chemical messenger. So those are the three roles there. Paragraph number 3, this is a paragraph comes from an information technology textbook. Posting a resume online for prospective employers to view is attractive because of its low or zero cost and wide reach, but it has some disadvantages. Certainly, it might be a disadvantage if the employer who sees your posting happens to be the one you're currently working for. In addition, you have to be aware that you lose control over anything broadcast into cyberspace. You're putting your credentials out there for the whole world to see, and you need to be somewhat concerned about who might gain access to them. All right, in this one, we're looking for our major details, okay? So first, what is our main idea? And we have a stated main idea in the first sentence. Okay, posting your resume online is prospective and attractive, but it has some disadvantages. So we're going to ask ourselves, what is the disadvantages? So, certainly a disadvantage is that your current employer is going to see it. So that actually would be a major detail. In addition, you have to be aware you lose control when you put it out there in space, cyberspace. Now this last sentence, here's the question. Does this deal with this first major detail? Does it support the main idea? This one is a minor detail that supports this third sentence here. All right? So, we're being asked, what is the major supporting details? It's going to be those two sentences in blue. Okay? So, this A, that's our main idea. It's not going to be A. B, yes, that is one of our major details. C, yep, that one too, but not D, because it was a minor detail. Okay? Number 4, this paragraph comes from a personal finance textbook. Younger investors tend to invest a large percentage of their nest egg in growth-oriented investments. If their investments take a nosedive, they have time to recover. On the other hand, older investors tend to be more conservative. They typically invest in government bonds, high-quality corporate bonds, and very safe corporate stocks or mutual funds. In short, your age is a factor to consider when choosing an investment. So here we're looking for the minor details, not the major. So let's first look for our stated main idea. We have it. It's not the beginning though. Remember, main ideas could be anywhere. It is at the end. So your age is a factor to consider when choosing an investment. So let's look at that. So here we have this one about younger investors. Okay. If their investments take a nosedive, they have time to recover. Well, that's still about younger investors. So that's going to be a minor detail. On the other hand, here we have a sentence about older investors. And then here's another sentence talking about older investors. Okay? So here we can see how this is kind of shaped up. We've got major detail, minor detail, major detail, minor detail. Here's our main idea. Okay? So for this one, for the choice for minor, it's going to be B. And then it's going to be D. Those will be our answers. Finally, number 5. This comes from an American history textbook. Cities of the late 19th century exhibited a ringed pattern. The poor, some immigrants, African Americans, and lower class laborers moved into the slums of the central city. Curled around the slums was the zone of emergence, an income-graded band of those emerging from poverty. It contained second-generation city dwellers, factory workers, skilled laborers, and professional mechanics. They lived in progressively better tenements and neater row houses as the distance from the center city increased. Farther out was the suburban fringe, home to the new class of white-collar managers and executives. They lived in larger houses with individual lots on neat, tree-lined streets. All right. So here let's pull out our stated main idea. If we have one, and we do, it's in that first sentence. So we're talking about this ringed pattern. Okay, so how many rings and what is each ring about? Okay, so first we have the poor, immigrants, African Americans, and lower class. That's one of our rings. And then it says curled around the slums was the zone of emergence and incoming income graded band of those emerging from poverty. So that's our next ring. Now here, this explains the zone of emergence in this sentence, so that's going to be a minor detail. Oops, hit the wrong color. Minor detail. And then again, this next sentence is another minor detail. And then here we have further out was a suburban fringe. That's our major, and then here's a minor. Okay? So, the first ring, slums, didn't have any minor details to it. The second ring, the zone of emergence, did have two sentences that were minor details. And then we have the suburban fringe that had one sentence that was a minor detail. So we're looking for those minor details. So it can't be A, that's our main idea. B, that's a major detail. C, that's a major detail. But D, E, and G, those are what we're looking for. Those are our minor details. All right? So hopefully that kind of breaks down the paragraph, shows you where the main idea can be, where the major details are, and then where the minor details are. All right? So in this video, that was Chapter 6 Checkpoint. In the next video, I'm going to go over Test Your Understanding Part 1 for Chapter 6.